Hello, this is Brighton TV and this is the match preview for Brighton vs West Ham. And in our game against Wolves, it was a game of two halves, and the first half we were very dominant, constantly creating a lot of chances. But it was Wolves who started the better side. They had a couple of half chances, but we got a spell of possession in the half about the 10th minute, and we ended up winning a corner from that. And Dunk scored from the corner and the momentum shifted. Dunk and Burn were huge in the air. They made it so much harder for Wolves to go out and defend against them, and that showed. We were constantly making it harder for them when it was at a set piece. And just overall in open play after we scored, Dunk, his long balls to the strikers or to the wingers, it was really hard for Wolves to cope with. And in the second half, we completely collapsed. Dunk got sent off in the 53rd minute and he had two choices to make. There's a Wolves player through on goal. He could have either let him go through on goal, have a shot at Sanchez, possibly making it 1-1, or take the Wolves player out, get sent off and have 10 men for the rest of the second half. People were criticising him a lot at the time, and I was thinking, if it finishes 1-0, then Dunk is a hero for what he did. But if it doesn't finish 1-0, then Dunk shouldn't have made the decision, and that just completely made us collapse. We didn't have a lead on the pitch, and Wolves, they started being completely dominant. We didn't have any attacking threat. We parked the bus with 10 men, and when you have 10 men, you want to at least have some attacking threat, try and get a goal on the counter-attack. We were just waiting for Wolves to score, and ultimately none of our players played well in the second half, and that ended up showing when Wolves, they scored two late goals. Traore scoring the first, and that was a bit of individual brilliance from him to go past four players and then shoot and score. We probably should have done better to try and stop him, but it was brilliant play from him. Wolves ended up scoring a winner in the 90th minute, and that's where the mentality of some of our players isn't good enough. We go and concede way too many goals late on. We dropped the most points in the league from winning positions. That's not good enough. We need to make sure we try hold on to the leads. Potter needs to go and make sure that the players can do that. That needs to improve next season if we try and go up the table. Although the game was hugely disappointing, it completely turned around a couple days later. It was confirmed that we stayed up after Fulham lost, and that's our 5th season in the Premier League. That'll be next season. Hopefully we can go and build up on the good things that we've done this season and put that on to next season to try and push up on the table. And I've seen a lot of people saying we only stayed up because there's 3 worse teams than us in the league. But when you look at the actual record, we have 37 points with a -5 goal difference. You look back to when that last gets relegated. That's a really long time. 10 seasons in a row, you'd stay up with that record. So we kept ourselves up. Potter's been able to get these players to get a record where we can stay up consistently throughout the Premier League seasons. That's not us being saved by other teams failing. And West Ham, they lost 1-0 to Everton, but we can't underestimate them. They're 6th in the league, and West Ham, how they've been playing, they've been able to attack and defend extremely well together. They score a lot of goals while also being great defensively, and set pieces is probably their biggest threat. You look at players like Souček especially, he's so good in the air, he scores so many set pieces, and when you look at how many goals we've conceded from set pieces this season, it's very scary. We need to try and make sure we limit the amount of set pieces that West Ham have. And earlier on in the season, we drew 2-2, but we ended up conceding twice after going ahead twice, and that's not good enough. And we ended up conceding from a set piece, so that's where you need to be careful. West Ham are so good with set pieces. Make sure you're very alert if you do concede one. And West Ham, 2 of their other key players, attacking wise, they have Lingard and Antonio. And Lingard, he's been on fire since going on loan to West Ham. He recently just won Player of the Month, and his ability to goal and assist, now he's been enjoying his football. He looks a much better player. His ability to go and create something out of nothing and score a lot of goals. We have to be very careful of him. We had him on loan a few seasons ago in the Championship. We know what he can do. He's a brilliant footballer. It's going to be very hard to stop him. And Antonio, he's their striker. He's very physical, and his ability to score is great. He ended up scoring twice versus Burnley, so we need to be very careful of him and make sure we limit the amount of chances that he gets. And my lineup for this game, I think it should be a 3-4-3. And in goal, it should be Sanchez with a back three of Burn, Webster and White. And Veltman is injured still, so that's a very big disappointment. But we have to try and see where this back three gets us. And I don't rate us playing a back four. And playing a back four against how West Ham are right now, I wouldn't want to do that. Play a back three. And on the wing backs, I think it should be Alzate and Karbovnik. And Karbovnik has been brilliant for the under-23s. And since we're staying up, I want to see him right wing back. And Alzate, I rate him a lot. I think he should have got more minutes this season. So I think we should try and see him in the left wing back spot. And the two midfielders should be Gross and Bissouma. And Gross's set-piece deliveries are insane. We need to be using that against West Ham. So that's why I think Gross should partner Bissouma. And the three attacking players, I think it should be Izquierdo, Welbeck and Jahanbash. And Izquierdo always seems to score versus West Ham. So that's why I think he should play. And Jahanbash, I thought he was very bright since coming on off the bench. So that's why I think we should go and give him another start. See what he can do. And Welbeck up front, because Malpe is suspended after being in an argument with the referee after full time. So that's why Welbeck in the front three with Izquierdo and Jahanbash. And my score predictions for this game, I think it's going to be 2-1 to West Ham. And I hope that we can win this game. But you look at our injuries and you look at what West Ham are fighting for. We have nothing to play for. And West Ham, they are chasing Europe. They're going to be on the top of their game. And I think we will struggle, especially when you look at our suspensions and injuries. And I think Potter might also rotate to try and see what some of the fringe players will do. So that's why I think Welbeck will score. But I also think Lingard and Souček will score for West Ham. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Brighton TV and follow us on Instagram.